There are 3 showers I see installed all the time that I would rip out if it was in my house. And the scary thing is about showers, specifically, is that these mistakes, they're hidden. They're buried behind the tile, behind the drywall. So you don't find anything is wrong until maybe year 2, 3, 4, or 5. And by that time, it surfaces. The damage is major, and the fix is a full tear out. Bathrooms are about 40% of what I do. I've built hundreds of them, and I've torn out dozens for the exact failures I'm about to show you. So these are the 3 worst shower specs being installed right now. Ranked from one that looks bad up to the one you can literally destroy an entire house with. Let's get into it. Shower number 1, a pebble or river rock floor with the grout. This one peaked on Pinterest between 2018 and 2022, and people are still putting it in today. It's a bunch of small pebbles set on a mesh backing installed like mosaic tile with grout filled in around all the gaps between the stones. Now, in a showroom under perfect lighting, even in pictures, it looks like a spa. It looks great until you've actually showered with it. The problem is the grout, because the pebbles are round and irregular, and the grout lines between them, well, they're deep, they're narrow, and they're running in different directions. And that's the perfect trap for soap scum, body oil, and mold. And you can't clean it because, well, a normal scrub brush can't reach down in those recessed grout lines. The bristles just ride across the tops of the stones. On top, well, it's generally uncomfortable to stand on. I have them at the gym that I use, and I hate it, especially for older folks. So by year 5, that spa floor is blotchy, discolored, growing dark line of mold everywhere. It hurts your feet. You don't like scrubbing and cleaning it. So the only real fix, well, is to tear it out, retile it. And that could run you anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000. Real quick, if you're planning a bathroom right now, my free renovation playbook, man, it has all these kind of shower specs and fun stuff that you could fill out and use to hand to your contractor. The waterproofing, the glass, the tile, all of it. So none of this happens to you. Check the link in my description. That's it. Let's jump into shower number 2. Shower number 2, a frameless glass enclosure built with a thin glass and budget hardware. This is the luxury upgrade that fails the fastest. The glass itself comes in 2 real thicknesses, 3/8 of an inch, which is the cheap spec that goes into most production builds, and a 1/2 inch, which is the real spec you see in custom and high-end work. And there are hinges. And this is where, well, they really save money. The budget hinges are imported, $30 to $50 each, and they'll happily stamp heavy duty on the box without actually meeting the standard. The good hinges, Italian or German, brands like CRL, Dorma, and Frameless Hardware Company run about $150 each and up. Put thin glass on cheap hinges and the clock starts ticking. Inside 12 to 18 months, the weight of that glass starts dragging on the undersized hinges. The door sags, it stops lining up with the header, and the water starts leaking out of the bottom. And the side seams, well, they become a leak spot when you're actually using the shower. Worst cases, the glass cracks right at the hinge or the mounting points. And when a frameless door fails there, well, the whole panel can shatter at once. The way you catch this before you buy is a weight test. A real frameless glass door, it's heavy. It swings with real weight behind it. A cheap one feels light, almost flimsy when you swing it. Fixing it right with the proper glass and the proper hardware can be anywhere from $15,000 to $4,000 a shower. Make sure you check this. And here's my shower number 3, the big one. A curbless walk-in shower installed without proper waterproofing membrane. This is the most catastrophic mistake in modern bathrooms, full stop. It gets sold on the accessibility, the spa walk-in, aging in place, all the good reasons to want one. The design is almost never a problem. What gets people is how they actually get built. Done right, a curbless shower has a waterproof membrane, Schluter, Curdy, or an equivalent, running across the entire floor and up the walls, a vapor barrier behind the cement board, and a linear or center drain with at least a 1/4 inch of slope per foot so the water actually goes where it should. That continuous waterproof layer under all that tile is the entire thing that makes it work. Now, most of them get built like this. The tile goes straight on the cement board, no membrane at all. The slope is faked, just a mortar bed which cracks within 2 years, and there's no seal where the shower floor meets the bathroom floor, which on a curbless shower is one of the things holding the water in. So the water does what water always does. It finds the least path of resistance, the cracks. It travels under the tile. It gets in the subfloor, and then it just rots quietly. The subfloor goes, the joists go, the ceiling of the room below starts staining, and the mold spreads throughout the walls. Guys, this can happen. I've seen it happen. You usually usually don't find out until there's a major leak or a chunk of your downstairs ceiling falls. Depending on how much you use, that could take 2 to 7 years. And the bill to fix it, I guess it could be any amount of numbers, but we're just gonna throw $15,000 at it, maybe up to 50, depending on the home. So this is the one thing you do about it. Before anyone tiles your shower, ask the contractor to name waterproofing system they are using. If the answer is a real brand like Schluter, Mappy, Curdy, you're good. If they can't name one, because there isn't one, and you are about to become a cautionary tale. So let me give you the specs that actually last. For the shower floor, use large format porcelain tile, 12 inches or bigger, so that you got a minimal grout joint to deal with, or go with a single solid slab shower pan. Something like onyx, Corian, where there's the basic, no joints at all. For the glass, 1/2 inch, tempered glass minimal, with European-made hinges, CRL, Dorma, FHC, and get an actual part number written on your quote so you know that's what you're getting. Waterproofing, guys, Schluter, Curdy, Lactrete, Hydraband, all these are non-negotiables. They're great products. We use all of them, no exceptions. Put your niche on an interior wall, never on an exterior one, because cutting into an exterior wall kills the insulation and then it invites condensation behind your tile. The drain, I prefer a linear drain, always got to have the proper slope, and of course a center drain will work. And never, ever, ever do a curbless shower without a vetted membrane system underneath it and proper installation and installers. This is something you need to check references. So there's the 3. Skip the pebble floor, don't cheap out on glass, especially the hinges, and never ever let anyone build you a curbless shower without naming the waterproof system and their experience using it. Now, my money is on the pebble floor. It's the one that most are gonna say how much they love it and that theirs never had any problems. So, whatever. And the curbless shower. People might they might stay up at night after watching this video and wonder if theirs was done correctly. Tell me which one of these you don't like, and tell me which one you think I'm wrong about. I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching Built by Becker.